Hello.
Hello, welcome to the Team Jetstream Podcast.
Hello from Johnny.
And hello from Kieran.
One of us is a substitute member, but nonetheless he's probably just as good as Alan, if not better. You never know.
You never know. We'll wait until we make the trade.
Wait until we swap you out for the other one.
Thank you.
So, first off, pros and cons about your deck. You may take it away, Kieran.
Pros and cons about Eradicators. Well, pro, it's a tier 1 deck, very competitive. Very good balance of power across all grades. Until you hit grade 3, in which case it's just... well, GG. As for cons though, once you hit grade 3 you're very counterblast heavy, so if you waste all that on say Gauntlet Buster, counterblast 2, return opponent's rear guard, then you have nothing to ride into the extra pressure card, which is Dragonic Descendant, who can restand for a counterblast of 1, which is insane.
Yeah, but surely if you use all your counterblast for Gauntlet Buster, wouldn't you still have one left over for that final push?
Ideally that's how I try to run, but that can be messed up.
That's it.
As soon as, I mean, Gauntlet Buster's massive pressure on a break ride turn. Break ride, I'm retiring 2 minimum.
You can at least get like a, is it 40k column?
40k column on Gauntlet Buster alone. Yeah, on Gauntlet Buster, the Vanguard column can hit for 40k alone. With
Which is quite impressive. Force is a perfect guard, but still.
Force is a perfect guard or a considerable chunk of hand size, which makes rear guard attacks.
What's funny is that if it hits, you're dead.
Well, like I said, like I've explained a few times, I've had that hit for 5 critical on a guy who's at 4 damage.
Right. Yeah, but it's even better. If they're at 1 damage, they're not going to expect that 5 critical.
I don't know how the hell you would have to guard that much to be at 1 damage when they break, right? Why would you push them into the limit break?
You never know, you might have triple healed.
Yeah, you could have wasted all your heal triggers.
No, that happened to me today, so I can't be saying.
Exactly.
But that's most of the cons there. I mean, other than that, nearly every card is a pressure card in one way or another. So any grade 1 or 2 can be pressure with Linshu behind it. Zwitan is pressure on his own. And the grade 3s, the 2 non-break ride grade 3s are just pressure, full stop. So your opponent is playing either very conservatively, not putting enough rear guards down for you to retire, or they're just guarding like hell.
Yeah, pros and cons of my deck, Spy Brothers. I think I have the same problem. It's the break ride turn for me is the pivotal moment. If I don't beat you down within that turn, I'm pretty much going to either A, lose, or I'm going to scrape by a victory with triggers lucky or not.
It becomes luck based if the skill to that point doesn't do you enough.
I mean, I can easily loop you with Dudley Mason. If you've wasted all your cards on the first 2, like I've known Kieran that you don't normally guard the first 2 anymore because you save your cards ready for when I pull him out. It's because if he hits counterblast 1, call another any spy roll from the deck. With that ability, I can just call another one and just keep hitting you if you don't have cards to guard. So no matter, even if you've guarded saying, "Oh, I'm still at 3 damage," even though you've went through 2 attacks, so you break ride already. I'm more than likely going to beat you at that point if you've used all your guards in the first 2.
That's it. That's it again, and it just becomes triggers. Your opponent's not going to survive without that lucky heal.
Yeah, and grade 3s. I'm obviously running 3, which I really need to take up Devil Summer. Grade 1 or 2, even though 1/5 of my deck, actually half of my deck isn't compatible with Devil Summer because they're grade 0s and 3s. So how about you, Johnny?
I play Liberator at the moment, unfinished, but that would be the only con that I can find at the moment. As a deck, it's pretty decent, it's powerful. If we go up against the deck that locks, I might be a wee bit screwed just now. Still waiting on the card that just makes me unbeatable. You guys know it here, don't you?
Oh god.
Monarch Sanctuary Alfred.
That's exactly it. But as a deck, it's it's powerful. Again, there's a downside to every deck, in my opinion. It's if I get into my break ride chain, Gancelot, Alfred, there's not much to stop it.
Yeah, because the amount you have to guard on the Alfred break ride is just stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I can easily. I've had 45k swinging plus 2 columns of 30k. It's easy enough, and no dates. You can perfect guard one. Having the perfect guard for all 3, it's quite tough. But if I get a slow start, even if I can go the right chain perfectly and just don't have enough to fill my rear guard slots, it's just not enough to do anything. That's a powerful deck, but easily slowed.
Another con would also be the fact that you do a lot of superior calling from the deck, but all the cards that do so specifically state an open rearguard slot.
They also specifically state the top card.
Yeah.
I can't even get to choose. It's how many times have I superior called a trigger to my only open rearguard slot in the front row. Exactly.
Perfect guard, and the only place open is the front row.
That's it.
You're just, trigger on the front row isn't too bad, because either way, as long as you have a boost in the back, it's just...
It's a 10k swing.
It's exactly the same unless it's something like Marin.
Yeah. Oh no, you've seen some of my front rows with their 12k and a boost of 10. Yeah. But yeah, it's a powerful deck in its right if it goes all well. Same with everyone.
And we go back to the OP over here. Your bad matchups. What is it you don't look forward to playing against?
A smart opponent.
So everybody that you play is smarter.
I mean, come on. Start of a match. As soon as I flip up Lynchu, everyone's going to go, oh crap.
Yeah, it's the moment you see Lynch on the table, it's comes to the point where that's not going to hit.
Yeah.
You can't afford to let it hit.
And then double pressure is always, of course, try and put behind Azvitan. Because it's a free counterblast and soul charge, and you retire something. What
of course, with you running Dewey.
Yeah. Run Dewey and run Kakaiji, which is as soon as the opponent hits 3 damage, he's a 10k booster. But, what else? Locking isn't too bad because a lot of my power comes from the Vanguard.
It does limit your potential Choa.
It does limit Choa.
But not too much. It's not devastating. What it does limit is your trigger bait.
Limits trigger bait, which
you
means
do rely heavily on trigger bait.
Yeah, because if I run Gauntlet Buster in the break right turn and I've been triangle locked, if they perfect guard Gauntlet Buster, I'm screwed.
Exactly. The other one is
we're speaking about bad matchups here. Sorry to cut you off. But all we've mentioned is Link Joker.
It's everybody's bad matchup is Link Joker. I'll admit that myself. Liberators, lock me the. God, I
do not have a problem with Link Joker.
It's because Link Joker is the only clan that uses lock offensively.
Yeah.
Against the opponent.
You get some decks that are lock 1 or 2, but Link Joker.
It's like everything.
Yeah. I'm going to sit there and lock your front row.
Link Joker have a card which is an automatic win when the whole field is locked.
I know. Yeah. It's insane. But to be honest, bad matchups for me in general, I'll just jump in before Damien there, is actually Eradicators. Mr. Kieran here does like to destroy my rear guards.
They're basically polar opposites.
Yes.
And it fits your personalities perfectly. To the point where you're the conservative finger player, and he's just like, I want to kill.
Exactly.
I'm Wreck-It Ralph. I want to wreck it.
That's copyright.
That's it. Gotta bleep that out there. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I hate the matchup. I don't mind playing against anybody else, any other style of deck, even Link Joker with their double swinging called Juggernaut Maximum. With their Spike Brothers, sorry there. But when somebody just destroy my rear guards before I get a chance, it's just it's definitely a bad matchup. And I take it Damien will jump in there now with his bad matchups.
Bad matchups for me are pretty much just Liberators, Shadow Paladins, and Restanders. Restanders, what annoys me about them is, you don't need to wave that.
Yes, I do.
Shut up. Restanders, they just apply too much pressure for my hand size. If I push them into their limit break, and hoping to get past it because I've at least got 2 perfect guards, it's still going to be a lot of triggers on the rear guard. If those are crits,
yeah,
I'm pretty much gone.
Yeah, so that's a punishment you can't handle. Oh, it's a shame that you don't have the hand size year old Oracle deck.
Yeah. But don't worry, the Thunder is coming since I'm building that once more.
That's definitely a good sign.
Will be interesting to play against. Why Shadow Paladins?
Shadow Paladins, it's more or less the Revengers. They can apply, the new Revengers can actually apply decent pressure without actually touching you.
I know
Dragula
that.
Phantom and Dragula Phantom is just on the breakaway turn. You can push them from 3 to 4 damage in your main phase, and then you then proceed to beat the doors down at their gates.
Alright. Well, that led us into our next point, wouldn't you say? With future decks?
Yes. Future decks for me. I have a few things that I'm...
Well, you
collecting.
mentioned your Oracle Think Tank already, so...
Yeah, Oracle Think Tank and Battle Sisters. I'm building Solus and Battle Sisters. Both same end, big hand sizes, big defense.
That's it. That hand size is definitely hard
They're
to
my
beat.
Season 3 decks now. I'm not building anything else in Season 3. Season 4, I'm basically just upgrading decks. I'll upgrade my Riser deck to include Regional, and it's been announced we're not getting Legion for Spec Brothers. We're getting more Dudley support, which is amazing since it's the first archetype that's actually useful.
Liars.
Maybe you'll get a decent grade... Maybe you'll get a decent Forerunner on top of... Well, instead of Mechatronic.
That's it. Why are we giving the man who's got stupid attacks even more support here?
Have you realised how limited Spec Brothers are at the moment though? That's the only way we can play Spec Brothers.
Exactly, yeah. So, just the 2 decks in plan then?
Pretty much.
Well, for me, a lot of stuff is on the drawing board, but I'm actually going to be building Revengers. I mean, for Season 3 I've still got upgrades to do to Eradicators because I'm getting a lot more support in a couple of sets. Revengers I'm going to build with Drag Ruler, as you mentioned. But I'm also very interested in building the new Nubatama stuff, which is insane. I mean,
I think
on
that's,
the break ride turn, your Vanguard, if you pick the right Vanguard, which has they all have stupid crazy names. Sure, Stealth Dragon, Kabuki Kongo.
And Kujikiri Kongo.
Kujikiri Kongo and things like that. The Vanguard is
What's the
swinging
Kongo drums?
for 31 unboosted.
You were thinking it.
Yeah,
Congo
maybe I
drums.
have to say it.
Congo drums.
So long as your opponent has 1 rear guard though, on the break ride turn, you're swinging for 31k on the Vanguard
Yeah,
alone.
you're going to beat them like a drum.
Because the break ride, your opponent discards 1 and binds a card. Then you bind a card from your opponent's hand at random. You attack and limit break, counterblast. You bind all your opponent's rear guards. Have 3 or more cards on your opponent's bind zone, another 10k. 31k Vanguard alone, without boost.
And this, the man always wonders why he wants OP.
Yeah.
I am not the man. But yeah, and other than them, they're my Season 3 decks, Revengers and Nubatama. Season 4, Brawlers. Basically, Eradicators on crack.
Pretty much. It's Legion equivalent of Eradicators.
Legion equivalent of Eradicators.
Seekers are the Royal Paladins and the Liberator equivalent of Legion, I guess.
Yeah, I have been looking at them, I have to say. I'll admit, though I'm a Liberator man through and through, as they can probably both tell you. In my mind, it's just
And you can
like...
also play Shadow Paladins and Royal Paladins because Sing Saber Dragon is actually Phantom Blast Overlord.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, but at the moment my future hold is just to upgrade my Liberator, really. I'm waiting for Zenith and Monarch, and that would be me, I think, and just focus on the one deck. I play too many card games at the moment to focus on Vanguard, and they know it.
Also, bringing it back to me once more, future decks. I've recently seen a new promo Shadow Paladin card that I'm actually very interested in building a deck around. Well, not Shadow Blaze. It is another Shadow Paladin that gains 5k and a crit for each blaster in the soul.
Not Dark Dictator.
That means I do not want to face that.
Considering that if you use a right chain, you go to Blaster Javelin, Blaster Dark, and then Phantom Blaster Overlord, and then you go into this new crazy pressure card.
Oh look, four
And
damage.
And you get that by counterblasting 1 and retiring 2 rear guards. It's an incredibly cheap limit break.
Compared to
so
other
wait,
breaks, yeah.
well,
Raging Form.
Raging Form is not.
we all know your thoughts on Raging Form.
Yeah, I think I've let everybody hear that torture.
Raging Form is just Spectral Duke with
Yes.
no class behind it.
Yeah, it's just Spectral Duke with no top hat. Because he ain't no Duke. I will admit that Raging Form is a better version of Spectral Duke, but your mind should feel it a lot more.
Exactly, and that in this game is you can't handle it in a deck.
I mean, Raging Form is probably the best matchup right now for Eradicators. Just because if they retire their rear guards before you do, you don't have fodder for your Golden Clusters. And even then, you just write a Descendant and try and beat down that gaze anyway.
That's it. Yeah.
The old-fashioned
It's like, oh look, I'm just gonna go with plan B through Z. Oh look, they're the same plan.
Okay, that wraps it up. That's Team Jetstream.
It's a goodbye from me.
And it's a goodbye from him.
I'm using that.